Hello guys, Jerry speaking. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, episode number 289, and today we're finally going to finish off The Prince and the Pauper, Chick-Fil-A edition. Now this is going to be the final part of the Chick-Fil-A edition of Prince and the Pauper. So let's read it now, shall we? See what we got for us, and can we end this book right there? We'll just have to find out as we're going to read this book. Here we go. Anyway, we last off read to London, so we're gonna read Korean Day and Edward's King right now. Anyway, on Korean Day, the crown is Westminster Abbey, something like that. I pronounced it. Sorry, was alive and with interest as they watched dukes. Okay, earls and barons come in as they be seated. When the heads of the church took their places on the platform, followed by other great obstacles, Tom Kenny, Corbin the Roll, Tremonton's Gold. Wow, okay. It's like Rumpelstiltskin style, man. Anyway, appear at the door and step upon the platform. The entire multitude rose and the ceremony began, okay? When the ancient cemetery drew near completion, the Archbishop of Canterbury lifted the crown of England and held it over the mock king's trimming head. Okay, a deep hush fell over the abbey as an impressive moment. A stalling figure intruded upon the scene. It was a boy clothed in rags, okay? He raised his hand and said, "I forbid you all to set the crown of England upon the head. I am the king." Wow, okay. Several hands were laid upon the boy, but Tom Kenny cried in a ringing voice, "Release him, he's the king." A panic swept over the crowd. The Earl of Hertford was amazed as the rest, but quickly recovered himself and exclaimed in a voice of authority, okay? Mind not his majesty, his illness is upon him again. Seize the vagabond. Come on to the Disney version of The Prince and the Pauper, where it's not Mickey and Mickey Mouse. But anyway, Tom stamped his foot and cried, "Do not touch him, he's a king." Then he ran to Edward and fell over his knees. "Oh, my king, let me be the first to swear my service to you." Now, this might be it for this book. So, I don't know what to do here, but it's this course going to be, even though it's difficult, might be it for the whole thing. So, there you go. Next 2 pages. Anyway. The old eyes spell swirling on the new corner, okay? Calmer's face, excuse me, okay, but sternness vanished and gave way to expressiveness of wondrous surprise, and you will realize, wow, similar to 2 boys look. Wow. He reflected for a moment and said, "I desire to ask certain questions." Edward answered every question correctly as about the late king. Wow. Okay. The princesses in the palace. Tom Kenny's hope ran high until the Earl of Hertford shook his head and said, "This is no more than our Lord then can also do. This is no proof, not proof, exactly." He confronted the rag candidate. "This is wearing the great seal, and to me this and this riddle will be solved, for only the true Prince of Wales can know." Exactly. In a confident voice, Edward turned to the Lord's store and said, "Go to my private cabinet in the palace. Close to the door, the floor, excuse me, in the left corner, you shall find to the wall and nail head president and a little cabinet will fly open. The first page you will see, you will be the Great Seal. The Lord Steward seemed unsure what to do. Tom Kennedy turned to him and said sharply, "Why do you hesitate? Have you heard the King's command? Go." Command? Go. Wow. This book began a time of deep suspense and wait when the steward was seen return, okay? See return, excuse me, okay. The interest was so intense that the low murmur of conversation is the immense was hushed. Sire, the seal is not there. The Earl of Hereford turned to Lord Stewart. Search you well. How is so bulky a thing as mostly going desk? Tom Kennedy's eyes was beaming. Was round and thick with letters, converging upon it. I now know what this great seal is. I know where it lies. But it was not I that put it there first. Turned to Edward, he said, "Figure my king, it was my very last thing you did that day before you rushed into my rags, okay? I remember the day, but the seal will have no place in it," said the king. "Don't give up," cried Tom Kennedy the paddock. "We talked about my family and the games of the lads in the city. You gave me brewing drink. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune category, that is. Anyway, we exchanged garments, and you noticed my injured hand. At this, your highness sprang up and ran towards the door. And passing the thing called the seal lying up at the table, snatched it up and looked in the palace to hide it. There, the servant explained the Rat King. You shall find the seal in the arbor that hangs on my wall. The entire crowd was on their feet by the time the Lord Sword returned a second time. He held a great seal, a loaf, something like that, excuse me, okay, in his hand. I keep saying it 3 times, but I'm saying excuse me, okay, but anyway. Then such a shout was heard. "Long live the true king, Jesus." Anyway, the Store King turned to Tom and asked, "How is it that you could remember where I hid the seal, where I could not remember myself?" "My king, I used it several times. Use it yet could not explain where it was." Excuse me, okay, anyway. That's the 4th time I said it. But anyway, I did not know where was the Great Seal. They did not describe it, Your Majesty. Then how do you use it? Tom blushed and he answered, "To crack nuts with." I'm allergic to peanuts. Sorry. Now, this is the final part of the book, and this is we're almost done. And we're getting close to the final chapter of the book, seen here in the Chick-Fil-A edition of Prince and the Pauper. This is originally written by Mark Twain. I'm not sure what year this came out, but, you know, this is retold by little Charles Devilson. But anyway, now I'll move on to the last page of the book, stating that Edward as king. And then that my point for it is, I have to write it all down. This is a kid's meal version of Chick-Fil-A. And boy, I got this at school one time, and boy, I haven't seen these probably 6 classic stories from Chick-Fil-A's kids meals yet. But anyway, Edward is key. The next day, Miles arrived at the palace, looking for his companion, and was surprised to be brought before the young king. When he caught sight of the king's face, it took his breath away. He stared at the king, wondering if he was dreaming or if he was truly his friend. An idea flashed in his eyes as he strode to the wall, picked up the chair, put it on the floor, sat down onto it. Anyway, a buzz of indignations like that. Yeah, it's coming my indignation, whatever that word is. There. Broke out in the voice and explained, "Up, would you sit in the presence of a king?" Maggie cried, "Do not touch him. Is it right? This is my beloved servant Miles Hendon, who saved me from harm. He shall not be Earl of Kent, and shall have gold and lands to meet the dignity," something like that. What's more, he have the privilege to sit before the king. Makes sense. In the crowd, the king discovered Hugh Hendon, stripped the robber of the false title and estate, put him on the lock and key until I have need of him. Key turned to Tom Kenny and said, "I have learned the story of the past few weeks, and am well pleased with you. You have governed very well justice and mercy. You and your family shall be well cared for, except for your father, and you shall be punished. You shall forever be known as the king's ward." Yup, exactly. Anyway, many things happened the few times that followed. It was discovered that Hugh was threatening his wife with death, and she admitted that Miles was truly a Hendon. Hugh fled the country to avoid punishment and died overseas, leaving Miles free to marry Edith. There was grand times and rejoicing when the couple returned to Hendon Hall. Tom Kenny's father would never heard of him again. Tom, however, was saluted and honored the king's ward everywhere he wanted. Now, see here, okay? As for King Edward, he did not forget the unfairness that he went in prison. Yeah, sad, I know. More than once, when some great dignitary, something like that, I don't know, made an argument against I can't pronounce this word, sorry. The young king turned to the compassionate eyes and told him, and answered, "Would you know of sovereign operation? I and my people, know, but not you." Now, now before I wrap things up, okay, Chick-Fil-A customer is telling you to know to collect all 6, which I have one of them out of the 6. Cam's Collages have announced it. And the Hans Brinker, Awesome of Oz, which I have not seen. Pinocchio, and One in the Wheels, which I have read one of them. Wins the Wheels. Prince of Pauper was one of them, which I already read. That was basically it. And that's the Chick-Fil-A Kids Meal book. So that was the Chick-Fil-A version of Prince and the Pauper. And that's the end of that book. What do I think about Prince and the Pauper Chick-Fil-A edition? It was the retold edition of Mark Twain's very own Prince and the Pauper. It was very good. So far, we've done it for like 5 parts, and it was a successful read. I highly recommend you check out this book again, even though it's been made for like, I don't know, 17 years. And already, this came out, like, I don't know, 2006. You know? And I highly recommend you check it out. And maybe we get a chance. And that was the Bedtime Stories, episode number 289. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be my little Golden Book edition about Barack Obama. Now, excuse me, I gotta watch a Storytime with Bob show live stream while I'm getting ready to shop for my Amazon gift card. For those of you at Bedtime Stories, I will wish you all a happy Valentine's Day. Until next time, Sue Jefferson, Bob, baby, good morning, this episode, to visit out. See ya.